Hello everyone, this is Lynn and welcome to my channel. I'm back with our monthly Take 5 Art Journal Challenge that was started by Kyra on YouTube. It's a monthly collaboration with a group of lovely ladies whom I've gotten to know through YouTube and Instagram. And you will find links to their channels in the description below. Kyra has picked 5 prompts for us to use in our art journaling, and we get different prompts every month. This time around, we have text paper, napkins, use packaging to apply media, white and yellow. And over here, I'm just going through a few things that I thought of using in my spread, but I don't end up using everything. So the first thing I did was to apply matte gel medium all over the page as I wanted to lay a napkin down. This napkin is by Classici, which is my favorite Japanese stationery brand, and I love the design of this napkin. I also stuck down strips of tissue paper that I got from Daiso on the sides to sort of frame the pages. And after sticking the strips down on all 4 sides, I then removed the excess around the pages. The next thing I did was to add the text paper. I think this page came from an old dictionary and was sent to me by my pen pal. I tore bits of it and stuck them down in random spots. Now, truth be told, I didn't quite like how the sides looked, so I thought of adding gesso, not just to prep the pages, but also to knock back the background. And that's when I kind of made a mistake of putting too much gesso down. This Liquitex white gesso is quite thick and not much shows through. I should have diluted it with a bit of water so that it is not as opaque, or used a thinner gesso. I think I wasn't happy that too much of the background was covered. Anyway, after that I decided to proceed to add some color and started with yellow since it's in one of the prompts. But I like adding yellow to almost everything, so I had the color in various shapes and media. I first added the distress crayon in a bright yellow color, and I believe it's mustard seed. I also added some gelatos in, let me see. Okay, I'm a bit short-sighted, but I'm short-sighted and long-sighted at the same time. It's a sign of age. Okay. I added the gelatos in mango, but it was very close to mustard seed, so I thought of using the packaging technique to lay down more color so that it's a bit more vibrant or intense. And then I added some orange, distress crayon in spice marmalade, and thought, no, that wasn't vibrant enough, and I started adding a red gelato called red cherry to the mix as well. And I just used the packaging method, by just smooshing some colors on a piece of plastic and adding a bit of water and spreading it everywhere across the page. I still wanted to intensify the colors, so I added a distress paint in wild honey, which is a warm, sunshiny yellow. Is that right? Yeah, a warm yellow-orange. And I thought it added a bit more interest and color to the pages, otherwise it wasn't really popping for me. And since the background was already so covered by this time by the gesso and the paint and whatever I was adding on top, I thought, adding more stuff on top won't make a difference anymore. Yeah, because by the time I was done with all the colors, you can barely see the background peeking through. You can't really see that there's text in the background anymore. So anyway, what do? add more color. And this time I was adding the gelato in grape, which is a purple shade. And I'm not much of a purple fan, but I quite like this, this gelato color. I don't think I've tried it before. I think at this point I was assessing to see what else it needs, and of course, you know, I just added more color, more splatters, and more of everything. After all of that was done, I decided to stamp a scripty font stamp that I believe is by Prima, and I use my archival ink in coffee to just randomly stamp some messy scripty font here and there. I also added some splatters in the distress stain called Peacock Feathers. Another part of the white element that I used is to add texture paste through a Japanese waveform design stencil. I think I got this stencil from a local art shop. I also dug out an image of a girl sitting from a magazine and thought of using it at the bottom left side of the page. And I like that the stencil seems to flow from the top of her head. Next thing I did was to add a title because, you know, an art journal page seems to be incomplete without a title of some sort. So I used a Tim Holtz stamp that says the impossible is often the untried. And I had to stamp it twice because the page was quite uneven from, you know, all the stuff that I did in the background. I also added the text paper behind the girl because I felt the background was too covered up at this point and it kind of lost the text element. I stuck everything down with matte gel medium. I used a Faber-Castell pen in sepia to outline and smudge around the girl so that she stands out a bit more from the background. I also cut out some text or words from a Tim Holtz washi tape that says wander, travel and journey, and adventure. Because the girl looks like she's dreaming or imagining an adventure or, you know, having some form of wanderlust, I don't know, it's just my interpretation. At the end of it, I think I added some black soot distress ink to go around the pages to sort of frame the pages as well. And I did add some black splatters across the page. So yeah, this is it. I admit I wasn't as happy with the outcome this time around because I felt the initial background that I laid down was too covered up by the gesso, and I didn't know how to fix that mistake after that. In hindsight, I should have just added some water to thin it down, but I didn't think about it at that time. I'd even tried using some baby wipe to, you know, try to wipe away some of the gesso, but it didn't work. So here's a closer look at what I've done, and I just thought that I shouldn't have been so heavy-handed with the gesso, but it is what it is. And I've learned that liquid text gesso is pretty effective. Anyway, please be sure to check out what the other ladies are up to and show them some love. Let me know if you're playing along because you can use the hashtag Take5Art and tag me if you'd like. I would love to see what you're up to. I hope you enjoyed this video and give it a thumbs up if you liked it, and subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already. So that's it, and until the next time, take care and bye-bye.